everyone, and welcome back to another episode of BNEWS Sports Hub. I'm your host, Liz Gillespie. This month, we went back down to Varsity Field to check out the girls' varsity field hockey team. We'll have a conversation with Head Coach AnnMarie McNeill and captains junior Jolene Russo and senior Natalie Fraser. We'll also have a Red Devil review with Robert Paris and a couple of player spotlights. And that's all right here, right now, on this month's BNEWS Sports Hub. Start our discussion, we'll offer you a little refresher of the team. We go now to BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris for our Red Devil review.
Hey everyone, I'm BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris for your Red Devil review. Despite having a shortened season, this team is staying positive during the pandemic when they are practicing on the field. Who am I talking about? The Burlington High School Lady Devils field hockey team. AnnMarie McNeill has been leading this team since last year when she took over as head coach. McNeill has been in the Burlington public school system for 10 years. She is a mathematics teacher at BHS, has been playing field hockey all her life. She found an interest in field hockey back in 7th grade and has been playing ever since. She was interested in coaching upon arrival in Burlington and got her start as a Red Devil coach on the JV team for a couple of years before moving into her current role as the varsity coach. Ruth McCall was the previous coach who led the team for many years until she stepped down from the position at the end of the 2018 season, and McNeill took over the following year. In her first year as a varsity coach, she had 8 seniors as the starting positions. The team's record was 6-12-2, and their league record was 3-11-2, while their division record was 2-6-2. The team did not come close to any championships. However, many awards were given after the end of the season. Jolene Russo, a sophomore at the time, made the All-Star list for the Freedom Division. Russo also won the Players Award. Anna Otis, another sophomore at the time, won the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association Sportsmanship Award. Finally, Isabella Floyd, another sophomore at the time, won the Dick Verzone 10th Player Award. Now, in 2020, with COVID-19 in the mix, the girls found a new way to practice and compete in the new normal. As the team continues their season, they are establishing new techniques and have been keeping the momentum going in the right direction. That is all for your Red Devil review. I'm Robert Paris. Back to you, Liz.
And we're back, and now let's talk about field hockey. I'm here with my guest, Coach McNeill. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. So, first question, what got you involved in field hockey?
So I got involved in field hockey as a player when I was in middle school.
Ooh, cool.
So I think my friends were playing on the team, and so I decided to try out for it. And I was lucky I went to a school where we had a middle school program. So
Yeah, that's cool.
So that was
We don't have a middle school
fun.
program here, do we?
No, we're trying to get it at like the rec, like a rec
Ooh,
league
that'd be
program and
fun,
stuff. And I know some of the middle schoolers, we have a waiver, so some 8th graders can play.
Ooh,
they can
cool.
play JV. So that's been great, like starting them early.
Yeah.
So that by the time they get to us, they have a little more experience and
Yeah.
comfort with it. But yeah, so I started playing when I was younger, loved it. And as soon as I got to Burlington, basically, I tried to coach, and the position was filled at the start, but eventually the JV coach spot opened up, and that was great, working under the old coach, Coach McCall, the old head coach. She was wonderful. And then last year was my first season as head coach.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the major differences between like ice hockey and field hockey?
Ooh, I mean, skates. But
Yeah,
I
definitely.
never played ice hockey, so I don't want to, speak out of turn. But there are fewer players on the ice, and they sub way faster, from my understanding.
Nice.
And then they can use both sides of their stick, where we can only use one side of our
Oh,
stick.
yeah.
So that's a little different, and different style of sticks.
Yeah.
They have a puck, we have a ball.
You also have like the hook type stick.
Yeah,
right?
our stick hooks, and it's like the curved side you can't use and the flat side you can use. Yeah.
So is there a reason there's no boys foiled hockey? I don't know if you know the answer to that.
So they're allowed to play. So we actually had a boy on our JV team last year, but he ended up, he was from Woburn and ended up going back to Woburn.
Okay.
So he might, I don't know, because we don't play Woburn this year with COVID, but he might still be on their team.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so they're allowed to. It just, the sport, it's like gaining popularity starting to, but it doesn't have the same popularity in the States as it does in other countries.
Yeah.
So like in India, boys field hockey is very popular. Like
Awesome.
Europe, very popular. So it's just like different sort, just like soccer is so popular in Europe.
Definitely.
We have football here as the main, you know, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are some strategies that you like to bring to coaching?
Ooh, I like to stay positive, definitely,
That's very important.
and take a more encouraging approach. And I think one of my biggest strategies is I'll always assess what's going on, like in a game, but I won't necessarily, like I don't do post-game talks usually. I don't want to focus on a negative immediately after a contest. I mean, I know the girls are working hard. I can see what we need to work on, but if it's not something that can like immediately change during the game, I'm not gonna bring it up. So my strategy has always been to like make my mental notes of what we got to work on and then address them in practice as a team instead of saying like, you're doing this wrong, we need to do that. Like they're probably doing it wrong because maybe I haven't coached it right yet. So we got to practice it. So I just kind of hold off on things until practice to take care of them. And it's nice this season because we face the same team back-to-back weeks. So you can kind of like prepare for like team-specific preparing, which is nice.
Did COVID change the schedule so it's now like that?
Yeah, so it's like everything's back-to-back to limit exposure. So if there was a case in Melrose and we hadn't played Melrose yet, we don't have to worry.
Oh, yeah. But, makes sense.
Yeah. So it's nice.
Awesome. So what are your practices like?
So right now, because of COVID, we're practicing 3 days a week. So that's all we get. So we usually start up with some sort of like warm-up speed work just to get them dribbling the ball and get some quickness. We warm up our goalies, taking shots on net and things like that. And then we'll either get into like drills that are specific to positions, or usually it's something in the game that I noticed we weren't doing, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a drill specific on this.
Nice.
So we do some skill drills, and then we've been doing a lot of scrimmaging this season, not as much this week, but in previous weeks that's been like the main focus, just because we had such a change. Instead of 11v11, field hockey changed to 7v7 with COVID.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so instead of 10 girls on the field, it's still full field, but we have 6 girls on the field. So they are running a lot more, and they need to use the space a lot more, so it changes the game. I actually love it with fewer players on the field. Like if I was playing, I would much rather play.
Oh, yeah. More play time.
Yeah. Well, it's just fun to like, you can go further, send the ball further. So, but since it changed the style of play, we definitely, at the beginning, like every day I was like, we got to scrimmage, get used to it.
Definitely. Do you scrimmage against like other towns, or is it like JV versus varsity?
No, so we even do varsity versus varsity. So we'll just do like a 5v5 or something, or have smaller numbers. And we have 2 goalies on varsity, so it's perfect.
Fun.
That
that works perfectly then. Is there any other rules that got changed because of COVID?
There is a major one. So usually there's penalty corners, and it basically, if the defense has a foul in a certain way or in a certain place, the offense has an advantage. So it's like and if you know soccer, penalty corner, similar idea. But they got rid of that because of COVID. So they have something else in place, but it doesn't give teams the same advantage.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are a team who should have had a corner, it's super frustrating because you know that could have led to a goal and given you an advantage. But if you're the team that is defending and there's no corners, you're relieved because you know that a corner could very easily lead to a goal. So that's changed the game a lot. But.
Awesome. So what are your games like now? Like, or what are they like?
What are they like? They are, I would say, a lot more running. The girls are a lot more spread out. We need like deeper passes and deeper balls to open space. So it does move faster. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Do you ever have to share the field for practice time with other sports?
So normally we share with football, but we don't this year because football moved to fall too. So it's been really nice having
Ooh, so you get the whole
field. Yeah.
You guys play matches on the full field, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like scrimmage-wise, it was perfect to get used to full field.
So what kind of outside training do you promote, like strength training or anything like that?
We like don't do as much for field hockey. In the past, in like the off season, I've sent a packet with like different things they can do. But I would say like if we're doing like fitness related things or like conditioning specific things in practice, it's usually running related because we have running or some sort of cardio or like high intensity training.
Definitely.
So burpees. We have something we call star jumps that the girls do.
Oh, fun.
And then like jump squats, things that are especially legs for field hockey. You use legs a lot more than I think people realize after like a day of practice. Your legs are sore at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what, like, is there anything specific about field hockey that made it like lower risk for COVID?
I think it had to do with the spacing out. So, so soccer got to keep their 11v11, but the reason field hockey went down to 7v7 is because 7v7 field hockey exists already. So we have like 5v5, like we have different sizes. Normally it's done on a smaller field if you have fewer players, but in this case it's still full field, which is honestly, I like it. I think it's cool. So I think knowing they could keep things spread out and the way the game is played, usually girls have time where they're like farther apart. They have breaks, so it's not like they're constantly
it's a low contact
tackling
sport.
each other, but they definitely do. You definitely do like brush up against player, or if you're in like a direct contest for the ball, it's different. But for the majority, you can like space yourself apart.
Do girls have to wear masks when they play?
Yes. Yeah. So we have our masks and they usually have like goggles and mouth guard and all that good stuff.
Ooh, lots of fun.
Yeah.
So are most of the teams that you would usually compete against still competing this year?
All of the small schools. So they split up the Freedom and Liberty divisions for Middlesex League. So we're only playing small schools, and then the big schools only play each other. So we don't get to see like Winchester, Woburn, Belmont, Arlington, Lexington, like the bigger schools. But we play 2 games against Melrose and Stoneham, and we normally have that. So we just have fewer games, but it's kind of nice just playing the smaller schools, honestly, because the large schools tend to be they tend to have middle school programs and just be a lot more established than we are.
Stacked.
Yeah.
So how do tryouts work?
So we actually, because the program's growing still, we don't make cuts, which I like. Like, I would rather keep people on. If they're interested in the sport and they want to play, I say play, grow the game. So our tryouts are really just to figure out which team they'll be on, whether it's varsity or JV. And a few years ago, we had a freshman team, so if they were freshmen. But, yeah, it's usually like 3 days, 3 practices. Honestly, it's pretty quick to figure out who could handle varsity speed. And then you also notice people, like if they're growing a lot in the 3 days, that's something I always keep in mind. And like if they're coachable, if they're really listening and taking advice, even if they're making mistakes, but they're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah,
that matters. But this year it's tough because because of COVID, normally we'd have more girls up on varsity, and then they'll like get varsity practice experience, watch varsity games, but then they'll play in JV.
Okay.
But they're not allowed to do that, so we have to keep the two teams separate for practice and for games. So we couldn't pull some people up that we normally would have. So that's been tough. But
did you have anyone leave this year because of COVID? Like not play this year?
Yeah, we had a couple seniors, especially. That's like the toughest. Just either like medical concerns or if they're full remote. And
yeah,
didn't think they could
definitely.
play. So that I always felt really badly for seniors where it's their last year and they had to give it up. But it's definitely like for the best to take care of their health first, obviously.
So like, what's the range of skill you get to try? So you get like people who have never played before?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, definitely. It's getting better because of I think there's like a rec. I don't know how long it runs because I don't have all the information on it, but I think some people played in like rec a little bit before, so they were at least exposed to it. But there's a lot of stuff like we go over how to hold the stick properly and things like that. So it is good for beginners. Like if people are looking for a sport, they can always join field hockey.
Yeah, awesome. So is there any like weather limitations? Like, do you guys still play in the rain or anything like that?
We do, as long as, so we played in, when I was in high school, we played in all sorts of weather.
Oh, yeah.
But we only have, Stoneham has grass, and they didn't want us to play on the rain in the grass. Because their grass is so nice that if it got tore up, it would be badly. But we always played on grass in the rain when we were younger, and it didn't matter. So it's not necessarily a limitation, but if you have like a really nice field and you don't, sometimes they'll postpone rain games, but on the turf they never would. So,
makes sense. Yeah. So what is your current transportation for like away games?
So the athletes, they need to bring themselves, or like most of them, their parent, like a parent will drive them. Whoever's gonna watch the game will bring them. So they bring themselves, and then we meet in the parking lot, and we have to all walk over together. So it's very different.
So what would you say the weirdest part of this season has been so far?
I feel like some of it, like me and the assistant coach were joking the other day that we were like, I forget what your face looks like because we're always in masks. And like the new people, I'm like, I don't know that I would recognize you
freshmen,
without
who are you?
without your mask on. So that's definitely been weird. But honestly, like my group has been so awesome about everything, like having to have the masks and the change in game set, like just been so positive, and like great to work with it, that it's made the adjustment a lot easier because it's not like it's a constant battle with the girls to wear their mask or to use hand sanitizer or whatever the procedures are.
Of course.
So that's been awesome.
So do you guys typically have like a senior night or a fundraiser game or anything like that?
We have a senior night, which we did like a senior day. It was the second game of the season, but it was our first home game, just in case we didn't have.
Get it in early.
Yeah, just in case the season ended. So we had it early October 10th maybe. It was like very early in the season. Yeah. We had our senior day, but the girls got a little flower at the end and flowers at the end and a little pre-packaged like cookie treat. So it was different from most years where everyone's like bringing food and you're sharing brownies and cookies and
big
we're like,
party.
Oh,
As opposed to just small.
Yeah. But
so how many seniors do you have this year?
we only have 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you think their departure will affect the team heavily for next year?
Definitely, yeah. We have our 3 seniors are basically in our defense right now. So one of them's our goalie, our starting goalie, who, I mean, she had 40 saves in the last game,
wow.
so she's a huge factor. And then our other 2, one's a captain and they've both been on the team, part of Burlington Field Hockey for 4 years. So, they're both like our defensive rocks that are deep back there.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll we'll make adjustments and switch
yes.
things next year, and it'll be fun to see like who steps up in different positions.
Definitely.
But they will be missed for sure.
Oh, yes. So how do you decide your captains?
So we actually let the girls vote on it. So we, at the end of the season, after the banquet, if we have a banquet, we have the girls vote on. We just talk about like what makes a good captain. Have the girls vote on it. And this year is our first year since I've been here with the junior captain. We have a junior and a senior.
Awesome.
So that was cool, and both were well deserving. It's tough. We honestly have so many like great players and responsible people on the team that would make great captains. So it's definitely always tough, but I think the girls always do a really good job voting on their captains to represent them. And
awesome.
everything. Yeah.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask about that you want to talk about, or have I about covered it?
I don't know. I think you covered it.
Now, let's check out our first player spotlight for this month, featuring senior goalie Alexia Hamilton.
Hi, I'm Alexia Hamilton. This is BNEWS Sports Hub Player Spotlight. I needed another sport because I wanted to play 3 seasons, so I decided to pick up field hockey because I'm not a soccer player and I don't like to run as much, like for cross country. And I knew a bunch of girls that were already playing at the time from hockey, so I decided to play field hockey with them. They needed like more goalies. We only had 2 at the time, so I decided to pick it up. Also, I'm pretty flexible because I do play hockey, and in hockey I'm a lefty and I couldn't switch to the righty position.
So Alexia, this is her 4th year. She started in goal her freshman year. And she's really come into her own as goalie. Even from the beginning, she was pretty strong, lots of potential. This season, especially after the first game, she really picked it up, got into the groove, and that was when she had her 20 saves and then just kept that momentum going into the 2 games after. But honestly, the girls have done an awesome job, like as far as wearing their masks, getting used to that. They've been great about that. As far as figuring out the game with only 6 players on the field, they've really adjusted and adapted to that and had stronger passes, dumping the ball to the open space, just using the field better. So it's definitely made them stronger players, having fewer girls on the field, because they really all have to step up to get the results that we need. So
It's definitely a lot of concentration and following the ball and just making sure I'm in the right spot and just giving it my all.
And we'll be right back with Captain Natalie Frazier. And now I'm back with my second guest, Captain Natalie Frazier. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. So first of all, what got you involved in field hockey?
I heard from my friend Ashley, her older sister played and she was a captain, and they had a bring a friend day, which obviously we're not doing this year, but it was all for younger and middle school age kids.
Awesome.
And she brought me.
Cool. So how long ago was that?
That was 8th grade, but I started playing in freshman year.
Cool. So what's been your favorite part of playing field hockey?
Definitely the people. I had the people from my grade and a couple 8th graders play, Brooke and Bella, my freshman year, and we've all gotten so close since then.
Cool. Do you play any other sports?
I do not. I did track freshman year for just that year and gymnastics the past 2 years, but I'm not doing it this year.
Yeah, makes sense. So do you play field hockey all year long or just during the school season?
I just play during the school season. I don't think we have any players that play all year round yet, but I know my coach is really trying to push it on the younger kids because it would make us a lot better.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any like clubs around to play from? Or
There is. I know there's a Wizards team, but I'm not sure where they play. I think it might be at the Edge in Bedford.
Oh, cool. So what position do you play?
I'm center back, which is like the last defender, and then there's 2 in front of us.
Cool. So how much gear do you need when you play?
We just need, well, now masks, mouth guards, and goggles, and shin pads.
Awesome. Does playing in a mask like affect how you play?
I thought when we were doing like captain's practices, it was tougher, but now I don't even like think about it. The only time is when like, if something breaks, like this, it's like earpiece falls off or something, but other than that, not really.
Yeah. Did you say you were able to run captain's practices?
Yes.
What was that like?
It was so strange because we weren't sure what we were doing, so we were just like pretty much passing with like 6 feet apart. Like it was so strange.
Do you guys have to like train with like the fewer people on the court?
Yeah, we were doing
field.
We were doing like, I think there was about like 16 or something kids that were coming like regularly to the practices, and we would pretty much just take up the whole field.
So did you guys like scrimmage and things like that?
Yeah, we did some scrimmaging, but mostly passing, just getting like the younger kids, the freshmen who haven't played before, just used to like stick handling and
makes
stuff.
Sense. So how do you guys like warm up before games?
We do 2 laps around the field to start, and then passing lines, which is like all different kinds of passing. Like we do control dribbling, speed dribbling, and then add some pulls and spins in, and then we do 3v2s to warm up the goalies and defense.
Nice.
And the forwards.
Do you do any other like strength or cardio training outside of that?
We do. My coach loves running, so we do a lot of running in preseason and sometimes throughout the season, and she loves circuits too. So we do some leg circuits, a lot of burpees.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
So how do you like prepare yourself for a game? Like
we have a day before to rest, and then I always make sure I go to bed like early, typical, but and I eat like a good dinner and a good breakfast before. And our game day practices, which are usually like lighter and just getting like used to stuff for the game, like work on like getting up the field and just simple stuff like that.
Cool. So what are your games like?
Games now, I personally like the 7v7 better because I think it's easier to get the ball up the field because everyone's so spaced out. You can just send it up, and it's a lot easier, and you have to get it by as many people.
Yeah. How has COVID like changed the game for you?
It's changed it a lot, considering we lost 4 people on the field at a time, and now since we lost 4 people, we don't have as many people on the varsity like starting line. So a lot less subbing. Most people stay in, and a lot of position shifting. Like a lot of people are playing more positions because people get tired and you just shift around.
Nice. So where does the team like stand within the league right now?
I'm not sure what place we are in, but we do have 2 wins and 3 losses.
Nice.
Pretty good.
This is a smaller league now, right?
Yeah. We're not playing any of the bigger city teams like Woburn. I don't think we're playing Melrose, who we usually play.
Yeah. So what are some of your responsibilities as a captain?
Usually there would be more, but like organizing pasta parties and stuff, but now it's more making sure that everyone on the team is just feeling included and stuff like that, and making sure everyone's comfortable.
Nice. Do you have to like motivate the team before things?
Yeah, we definitely. Before a game, sometimes our coach is like, you guys need to get the energy up, and then we just get everyone excited.
Yeah. Do you ever feel pressure as a captain?
Not really. Our coach is very, she's very nice. Like, she's not like a mean coach. So no, not really.
Awesome. Do you have any rivalries with any schools that you play?
Usually Woburn's like our biggest competitor. I would say that's it. And Stoneham, I would say, which is kind of an unusual one. But yeah.
Are you playing Stoneham this year?
We did play them already, and usually it's very close, but we won both times this year, which was good.
Nice. So what are some of your favorite or best wins throughout your entire field hockey career?
I would say probably the first time we played Stoneham this year, because we were tied 0-0 the whole first half, I believe, and then in the third quarter they came out and they scored, and we were like, oh my God. And then everyone really like turned the power on, and we
Perfect.
scored 3 goals. So it's good.
Awesome. So what would you say one of your best memories from field hockey would be?
Definitely, I would say either that win or last year, because I was close to a lot of the seniors last year, and there was 9, so it was tough like losing them. But like probably last year's senior night was really good.
Awesome. So what are you going to miss most about being on the team?
Definitely the people and the coach. I will miss playing too, but definitely the people and the coach.
Awesome. Is there anything else that I haven't asked about that you want to talk about, or did I about cover it?
I think you covered it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here then.
No problem.
And we'll be right back with junior captain Jolene Russo.
Get ready to enjoy some Red Devil classics. Until Burlington football returns, we'll be showcasing some of the Red Devils' greatest hits from past seasons, featuring post-game analysis from former voice of the Red Devils, Phil Licaro. We have a full season of Red Devil classics coming your way. Look for new games weekly on BCAT's education channel.
And now we're back with our third and final guest, junior captain Jolene Russo. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So first question, what got you involved in field hockey?
So going into freshman year, I didn't really have a fall sport at all, and I knew some older kids who were already playing field hockey who said it was really fun.
Awesome.
And so I kind of signed up and started playing.
Fun. So you started playing when you were a freshman?
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's been your favorite part of playing field hockey?
Probably just like the built-in friends you get, because with each season that comes along, you get like incoming freshmen and new people every year, and you kind of just, those are the people that you feel most comfortable with almost. So then going through school, you like see them in the halls and like wave to them. It's really nice.
That's awesome. So do you play any other sports?
Yeah, I do field hockey. No, lacrosse and gymnastics.
Awesome. So does field hockey help you with any of those sports, or do those other sports help you with field hockey?
I would say for sure, gymnastics is definitely like you needed like a whole body sport.
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to do well. So
That's a lot
that
of
one definitely
conditioning.
helps. And then the running in both lacrosse and field hockey, like swap over and they help with each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. So do you play field hockey only during the school season, or do you play like all year round?
I do mainly during the season, but then during the summer I'll do some camps,
Ooh, fun.
which will help. Yeah.
Do you know if there's any like local clubs or anywhere else that like people can play out of to be on a team outside of school?
Yeah, I've heard there's like Seacoast, that's in Concord, and then Wizards field hockey. We had someone last year who played on that team and they really liked it.
Cool. Now let's check out the second player spotlight for this month, featuring junior and forward Anna Otis.
Hi, I'm Anna Otis, and this is BNEWS Sports Hub Player Spotlight. Well, my cousin plays field hockey, so I just thought it would be a good idea to start playing and she could teach me. And so I started freshman year, and I really liked it, so I continued to play. I like forward because I like playing offense and like help score goals. And it's just, I don't know, it's like it's fun. I like all the teammates. It's just a really fun team, and every practice is fun, every game is fun, even if we lose. It's a good time. I'm looking forward to playing more games and hopefully winning more games, and if we don't win, coming close to the games.
We've done a lot of scrimmaging, stick work, just to get used to gameplay, because the more games they play in or game-like scenarios, the more experience they have. So we've actually been scrimmaging quite a bit, but I know they've had a really knockout start to the season so far, so we're hoping we can hold our own, and hey, who knows, anything could happen.
Hopefully I can improve this team by scoring more goals maybe, and maybe assisting more goals.
So what position do you play?
I play mid, so it's a lot of up and down the field.
So is that offense or defense?
Both.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of everything.
Awesome. So how much gear does it take to play?
Surprisingly not that much, just small little goggles, mouth guard, and then shin pads. So other than that,
Is there a lot of contact with field hockey?
Not really. They don't really like it. But like if you're going for a ball and you bump into each other, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's no checking or anything.
Perfect. So does playing with a mask affect how you play at all or anything like that?
Yeah, you definitely notice it. It's getting easier though as the games go on. But the first couple, you're I'm even more out of breath. Yeah.
So how else has COVID changed the season for you?
So we used to have 11 on 11, but now it's gone down to 7.
Yeah.
So which makes it a lot more running, but it's also a bit easier because you can have more room to play around and pass, which is better. Yeah.
So what are your practices like?
Practice, we have practice 3 times a week because of COVID. Last year we did 5, which I don't know, kind of gives us a break.
Yeah.
But they're 2 hours. We'll do warm up. We'll sometimes do different running, sprints, and then lots of drills. Drills are a big part of it.
So how do you warm up before games?
Warm up, we usually do a couple laps to get ready. We stretch, and then it's a lot of passing, getting as many touches on with the ball and stick as we can, getting warmed up. We'll warm up the goalies, make sure they're good to go to a shooting drills. And
so how do you prepare yourself before a game?
for myself, I always make sure I try and eat something.
Yeah.
I know that's probably, a lot of people say they can't eat, and I can't eat a lot, but so definitely that. Water helps a lot. Drinking it before, but not too much. So it's kind of have to find the balance between it.
Definitely.
And just getting excited is the most part. You don't want to go into a game where you're I don't really want to play, because then you won't have as much fun.
Definitely. So what are your games like?
Games, they're 15-minute quarters, so we have 4 quarters and then halftime. So it's basically running clock between those, so they last an hour. And it's, I don't know.
Yeah. So do you have any responsibilities specifically as a captain?
As captains, we will usually demonstrate the drills. We will run warm-ups, make sure everyone's there on time, knows what's happening. Yeah. We serve as a messenger between coach and participants sometimes too, if there's ever need for that.
So do you ever feel pressure as a captain?
No, I wouldn't say so much pressure. It's I always feel comfortable as it. The team and the coaches make it that way, so there's never a time where I'm I don't think I've ever been pressured into.
So how do you motivate the team?
I just always try to make sure if we get scored on or if we down, just to make sure we don't lose our energy. So just try to keep everyone motivated and feeling good with themselves, because you never want a team that's down, because then you'll never play your best. And mostly just to make sure we all have fun, because that's the main point of playing.
Definitely. Do you have any rivalries?
I wouldn't say so. We don't really have one main team.
And so as a junior captain, what do you look forward to the most?
I think just getting that one last year, because I know all the seniors are sad, but I still got another year of playing something I really like.
Awesome. So what are some of your favorite wins that you've ever had?
I'm not sure. I feel I don't know if there's a specific one, but just every win that we get always makes us feel so much better as a team, and feel like we have come together and done something right, and it's finally put everything together and proven to have an outcome that we've wanted. Great.
And what would you say one of your best memories overall from field hockey would be?
Best memory, not just mainly field hockey, but the pasta parties. I feel like those are always so much fun. Everyone always becomes closer after them. You're just sitting there chatting with your team about field hockey related, non-field hockey related, and you just become closer. And I really like those, because everyone's just having fun and being themselves.
Disappointed we can't have those this year.
Yeah, that's the big bummer.
All right, is there anything else that I haven't asked about that you want to talk about, or have I about covered it?
I think you got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And that's all for this month of BNEWS Sports Hub. I'd like to thank my guests, Head Coach AnnMarie McNeill, Junior Jolene Russo, and Senior Natalie Frazier. I'd also like to thank you for watching. I'm your host, Liz Gillespie, and we will see you next time on BNEWS Sports Hub.